So Ken Fangler, another Mid-Ohio event with some Mid-Ohio weather.
Yeah, no doubt. It's always exciting, especially when you look at the radar or the percentage of chances of rain. It says 0, and the radar shows nothing, but my shoes are still getting wet. I don't quite... So anyway, we've got some wet qualifying times. This will be an interesting race as we have some people up front that normally are not there, and track conditions have changed every 5 minutes. So it'll be a challenge, but I think the guys are up to it, and we look forward to some good racing.
International GT Race 1 here at Mid-Ohio, coming around to take the green flag, and David Tuati in his 4-point I. There's the green coming through. As you can see, it's kind of a mixed group. We had rain and qualifying, so lots of people with different starting positions. You can see there's still moisture on the track as Nathan Bird takes the lead over Stephen Hammond, followed by Scott Blend. And then Dave Tuati in the orange car coming up. Nathan Bird in the 3.8. Stephen Hammond just behind him in the 4-point I, 4-point improved. On board here with Stephen Hammond. Now hard on the brakes. Lots of steering input as they come into madness. A big crowd here. Saturday morning's race, feature race 1, International GT. International GT seems to love Mid-Ohio and vice versa. Now, as you'll notice, Tom Pank, usually one of our fastest, there he is coming up over the hill, had to start from the back. So watch for Tom Pank to move his way up around in turn 6. GT4R. Some blind corners here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course as we see Tom Pank coming up right behind Mark Matisse as they come through Thunder Valley. Nathan Bird still leading somehow in that 3.8. And there's Scott Blend with Ruckus Racing. You can never miss him out on the track. So we're on board with David Tuati from TLM to come around turn 1. So the field spreading out here as they come into the number 2 turn, keyhole turn as they call it, which is a downhill kind of off camber, lots of different surfaces. Mid-Ohio is going to be repaving in the off season, so we're going to have a new surface here next year. As you see there, David Tuati with those fixie gold wheels coming out, chasing through turn 3, chasing Stephen Hammond to a very difficult, hard on the brakes into turn 4. You can see Tuati catching Hammond through turn 4, then up Madness. We had a good crowd here, even though there was some rain. So it's good to see a big crowd here at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course as the cars come up over Madness. And there's Tom Pank working his way through the field. But we expected that. There goes his son Lucas. Back on board with Stephen Hammond through Thunder Valley. This is the Permco Mid-Ohio Vintage Grand Prix with International GT, SVRA, and the Trans Am Series presented by Pirelli. And there's Tom Pank, followed by Todd Sloan. Lots of great cars in this. Bob Wyson and Lucas Pank going at it here as they come around the carousel turn. You can see Nathan Bird still holding his own. Stephen Hammond in second place, and David Tuati's got to worry about Scott Blend right behind him. On board now with David Tuati. Looks like Hammond is closing the gap on Nathan Bird. Still just a little bit of moisture on the track. Nothing crazy, no standing water. You can just see the dark spots, but that does decrease the grip level just a little bit sometimes, but it looks like the racing line is completely dry. because now we're on board with Stephen Hammond. Big gap between Stephen Hammond and David Tuwati. And then Scott Blinn right behind David Tuwati as they come through three-dimensional services group carousel turn. Into Mission Foods turn 1. And then Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers keyhole turn. Stephen Hammond now closing that gap with Nathan Bird. You can see the input that he's putting in his steering wheel as he's just fighting for grip, trying to get the power down. And this is, if he can duck behind Nathan Bird, this is where he can really make up for it with that extra 0.2 liters. He's right behind Nathan Bird, but Nathan Bird seeming to be able to outbrake Hammond. Coming into turn 4, into Madness. Oh, Stephen Hammond has to kind of make evasive maneuvers there. They come over Madness. This is going to get frustrating because at this point in the track, really there's no great place to pass Nathan. There's no huge advantage that Hammond has with that extra power. So now he's just got to stay behind him and hope that he can get him going into turn 1, if not into turn 2. You can see though, Nathan Bird running a good line so close to that wall. Running a fast defensive line is Nathan Bird. Now Stephen Hammond going to try to duck right up behind Nathan Bird, coming into Mission Foods turn 1 to try to do something into turn 2 possibly. Looking to the outside at Big Machine Vodka Spike Coolers, turn 2. Nathan Bird going way outside, forcing Hammond outside. Hammond's not going to be able to do it here. Let's see if he can do it into turn 4. But I think just that evasive maneuver by Bird pushing Stephen Hammond outside is going to lose his momentum as they come through turn 3. Side by side into 4. It looks like Hammond may have him, but can Bird outbrake him? Bird does outbrake him. And Hammond's now going to have to wait half a lap to see if he can get a passing opportunity as they come around Madness side by side. Nathan Bird gives him room, but Hammond intelligently lives to fight another day. You can see this fight is really getting at Hammond because Hammond knows once he gets around Bird, he can kind of pull Tuwati, but all this is doing is pulling Tuwati into them by having to fight like this. Tuwati should be closing this gap on Hammond and Nathan Bird. There's the gap with our leaders. Tuwati really hasn't closed the gap as much as I would have thought he would have to come around three-dimensional services group carousel under the Permco starter stand. Now Hammond trying to take a little bit different line through Mission Foods turn 1. Not sure what happened there coming out of the carousel, but Bird has a pretty good gap. And look at that, Tom Pank has already moved his way into overall 4th place. Look for Tom Pank working his way through this, and this is working out perfectly for him with Nathan Bird kind of holding up the leaders. Come around turn 3. Right on the rear quarter of Nathan Bird. Stephen Hammond, good control of his car right now. His car looks really good. It's just where can he pass Nathan? And Nathan doing a great job at hitting all of his marks, not giving Hammond anything. Watch this coming through Thunder Valley. Watch how much room he leaves between he and the wall. Very little. Hitting his marks, doing everything he can to keep Hammond behind him. Looks inside at Mission Foods turn 1, but Nathan Bird's got him, but Hammond's right behind him. If he can get sucked into this draft, he may be able to take him through the keyhole. Hammond outside on the keyhole. Can both of them hold it? There isn't a lot of grip there as we ride on board Nathan Bird. Nathan Bird giving him room, and Hammond looks like he's going to be able to take it. Now Hammond should be able to run a pretty big gap between he and Bird, and now it's Bird's job to try to keep Tuwati, who's in the same car as Hammond, behind him. Tuwati slowly moving up behind Nathan Bird as they come through Thunder Valley. Into turn 10, turn 11, hard left. The carousel turn, one of the more challenging turns on this circuit. And there's Tom Pank right behind them, ready to close in. Tom Pank with the fixie wheels camera happening right now, coming through the front straight, the smaller straight, into Mission Foods turn 1 under the Summit Bridge. You can see the curving to the left, and you can see David Tuwati's bright orange car right ahead of him. Scott Blinn coming through Mission Foods turn 1. Right on board with Tom Pank. I believe the white flag has been displayed, so they might be on the last lap as Tuwati gets around Nathan Bird here. Coming up through Madness. On board with David Tuwati from TLM. There we go, there's Tom Pank right behind Nathan Bird. Let's see what we got. There's the white flag. So white flag out this time by. So this is the last lap. Can Tom Pank get ahead of Nathan Bird and finish overall third from last? Can't even get by to up to second as he comes around Nathan Bird there, but we're looking at Stephen Hammond. Can he hold the lead? Followed by David Tuwati, followed by, looks like Tom Pank, and then Nathan Bird as we're on board with Stephen Hammond. Stephen Hammond, bottom left of the screen, looks relaxed, looking at his apexes, keeping the wheel in front of him, doing really well. Now basically just hitting his marks, trying not to look in the mirror too much, but man, I tell you what, David Tuwati's got to be aware of Tom Pank coming up right behind him with about half a lap left. Right on board Nathan Bird. Done a really good job this race, keeping these more powerful, faster cars behind him. Now we're on board with Tom Pank. Can he take it? Let's listen. There's the checkered flag. Tom Pank right behind David Tuwati. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Stephen Hammond first, David Tuwati second, Tom Pank third, Nathan Bird fourth, Scott Blinn, Todd Sloan, Mark Matisse, James Hammond, Alejandro Pimentel, Lucas Pank, Mike Ward, Tom Ballister, Ron Thomas, Robert Wyson, Brant Gier, Javier Rapoli, David Willens, Nicholas Groombridge, Brian Hicks, Frank Vitiello, Scott Vanacore, Colin Cohen, and Kevin Maxim. Rounds out. Let's go to Winner Circle.
All right, how many more laps till you got him? 2. Really? Yep. It was that close. I had Tuwati, then I just had to get Steve. Now, maybe he had more than he was showing, but I'm tired. But I needed 2 more.
Did you start from the back?
20. Almost, because I didn't go out in the rain. But at least I got pole for the next race out of it, and it was fun. And no, everybody behaved. It was a lot of gaggle of cars at times, but it was a lot of fun. It was good racing.
Look, all of you old amateur racers are showing these young pro racers how to do it.
Oh yeah, but they were under some terrible conditions. Let's be fair to that through madness, that hill there is like whale snot. It is absolutely slippery. But the track came in good.
Yeah.
I didn't dial my ABS back or make suspension changes. I just held my head down and gave it all I could. And Nathan, he pulled off real nice for us so he wouldn't screw up the points. He was holding Steve back, and then he let Steve go and let Twatty go and me go. So it was good. A lot of fun.
Nathan, how was it for you out there? That was fun.
Yeah, it was pretty fun out there. I was like, in my mind, I was like, okay, do I let Steven go? But me and David already talked. It was like, hey, let's make it a battle. Let's make it a race. I'm not just going to let Steven get a position for free. I'm still competing for bonus points. So in my mind, it's like, hey, let's make it a race. I'm going to make Steven work for it. Make him learn that straight line speed and take advantage of where his car was faster. And I was able to hold him up for a little longer than I thought. And we had some good, nice, close racing. Probably some good highlights there. So it was a really fun race, and once Steven got past me, I was like, okay, I'm not going to hold up David's race. Like if he's fast enough, which he was, I'm not going to just hold him up. So I'll let them battle, let Tom see if Payne could get him on the final lap, and just once I knew I was comfortably in the lead, I was like, okay, let's just let the guys have their battle and see what they can compete for.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Excuse me, guys.
That was awesome, fantastic. Nathan Bird is a freaking rocket. So he held Hammond up. I was able to stay with him. I had the faster lap up until the end. Hammond beat me by less than 100th. Right on the last lap. Fantastic. Cannot wait for the afternoon race. It's gonna be freaking awesome.